Hi and welcome back to DogTrainingWizard.net. On today's video we're going to focus in on a crate. We want to be able to help you as a pet owner determine what size of crate you should get for your dog or your puppy and talk about the different styles that are out there before you make your purchase. Now, I see a lot of pet owners make a big mistake when they buy their first crate, and that is they buy a crate that's way too big for their dog or a puppy. Now, if you are a pet owner that owns a puppy, you have to understand right from the start that you're going to buy multiple crates during the lifetime of your dog until they reach that mature size. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what size of crate should I get for my puppy? And actually, that's pretty simple. You just have to visualize in your mind about how big your puppy is going to be in about 6 months and use that as a gauge to determine what size of crate you want to get. Now, you use that visualization in your mind about how big your puppy is going to be, or if you have a mature dog, use that size to determine if your dog can walk in the cage, be able to turn around with ease, and be able to sleep comfortably. Do not buy a cage that allows room for a play area within the cage, because in doing so, you'll open the door to unwanted behaviors, to include the dog actually eliminating or going to go potty inside the cage. Now let's talk about features. Now this is the plastic crate. It is designed really well. I recommend it to every pet owner. But as far as key features, we'll start with the door, as the door is actually designed to come off really easily and change which way the door swings. So you can actually detach it and reattach it so it swings from the other angle. Another aspect is the buttons. The buttons on top of the plastic crate allow you to remove the top with ease and to clean the bottom of the cage. It is plastic, so it is easy to clean. As far as the air vents go, they are big enough to allow for significant airflow for your dog or puppy, so it's not something you're going to have to worry about, but it is designed in a way to reduce the dog from being able to chew at the sidewalls and destroy the cage, and worse yet, cause injury to your dog or your puppy. Another feature that a lot of people don't really talk about, and the whole result of, or the whole aspect of crate training your dog, is to have an end result where your dog is completely potty trained and you trust him within your house. At that point, you'd be able to actually take the top of the cage off altogether and just use the bin area and put his bedding in there, and he'll use that as his den for the whole time. Now, when it comes to the wire cage, I think there are two big reasons why people decide to go with the wire cage. Is one, the tray in the bottom of the cage is actually easy to pull out, and you can wipe it down and clean it pretty quickly and insert it back into the cage with little or no problem. Another aspect that people usually go with the wire cage is the fact that they can see the dog at any angle within the room. But I think when it comes to risk versus reward, I think you'll find that the wire cage actually has a lot of downsides. We'll start off with the door though. The door is usually a fixed swinging door, so it can only swing from one angle. But another bad feature though, when it comes to the wire cage, is the fact that it has really sharp corners. And if you have kids that run around the house, if they get into a lot of stuff and they trip and fall and they hit their noggin on one of the corners of this cage, it will cause a significant injury to your child, and that's not something you want to happen. Another aspect, and you'll notice right off the top, that I'm able to stick my hand inside the wall of the crate really easily. And this means, or should tell you right off the bat, that your dog will be able to do the same thing with his long, slender paws. He'll be able to reach anything within close distance to the cage. This can include wires, cabling, whatever the case may be, but also will allow him to get at the wall if he's close by. And in doing so, he will scratch the wall and cause significant damage if you allow him to. But biggest thing that I notice about the wire cages is not just the destruction aspect, is it allows your dog to actually get in a position where he's going to cause injury to himself. Because if he can get his leg or paw through the cage itself, it could get caught and snagged, and it will cause an injury to your dog or your puppy. It's not something you want to happen. But another big aspect is when it comes to training your dog, you're going to go through a whining phase. And if you're a pet owner that's already been through a whining phase, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're not, you soon will be, because the whining phase will try every nerve on your body. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that with the wire cage, you can actually see your dog at any angle in the room, and in turn, your dog can see you too. And if your dog can see you during a whining phase, this is just going to agitate this behavior even more. And this is not something you want to happen. Now, if the wire cage is something that you want to have and it's something you want to go with, then that's fine, that's your decision. But I do recommend that you buy it or get a cardboard box and cut out one side of it to allow for the door to swing open and freely. And the cardboard box will actually reduce the visibility for your dog and cut down a little bit on the whining phase. If you want to get a little fancier, because I know the cardboard box is not necessarily ideal for as far as looks, So you could get a little fancier by actually making something out of wood. If it's made out of wood, it's probably going to be sturdier, so you can actually put something up on top of the cage. A lot of times pet owners will think that, hey, I can just use a towel, and you could do so, but I guarantee you it only work for maybe a day, and at that point the dog's going to pull the towel inside them and use it as a chew toy, and that's not something you want to happen. Now let's go back and rehash. Again, I do recommend the plastic crate. I would recommend it to anybody, including it does have a handle on top, so it does make it easier to carry your dog. But the big thing is here is determining what size of cage you should get for your dog or your puppy. And again, you just want to visualize your dog being able to walk into the cage, be able to turn around with ease, and be able to sleep comfortably. And do not buy a cage that's big enough to allow for a play area, as it will open the door for those unwanted behaviors. I want to thank you personally for joining us at dogtrainingwizard.net. We do hope to see you again. Come back and see us, and we do have a marvelous dog training system that will help you with all your dog's unwanted behaviors. Thank you.